Thank you, Robin. It's an honor to be here and to be discussing a topic that is very dear to my heart. If we think about these barrier in communication and we look at Canada as a bilingual country, and you raise that question, how are we finding ourselves in such situations when we have an infrastructure in place and we should be better than this? Well, it strikes a chord for me because as a French Canadian, I grew up in French in a region that is mostly predominantly French. I mean, until recently, it's Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, and it's very French. And I also I wanted to share because part of my experience as a French Canadian was to see, even at a young age, how language changed some of the behavior and impacted our families and my parents' generation. So, for those who might not be familiar with the situation in Canada, language was often used as a way to segregate First Nations, but also segregate French speakers. So in a region like Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, until the 70s, when there was that la Révolution tranquille, if you were a French speaker, you could not necessarily get a manager position, especially in my region, because there was segregation. You were not thought of as being as smart. And so I think, and this is not about rehashing the past, but I think when I hear a story, an unfortunate story like that one you went through in much details with Sylvia, it seems to me that some of those old patterns have not been broken, and we're still, despite the laws, despite the regulation, we're still operating under that mindset of colonialism, and where language is assumed by the dominant culture. And this is very important for us to acknowledge as language professionals, because what we see in the US is also a regression on some of the progress we had made with language accessibility, communication, and so on and so forth.
So, very good point. And I talk on this channel quite a bit about the Canadian environment from a technology, from a language perspective, and I did several podcasts on the latest Bill 96, etc. But for the audience, who are not from Canada, who are not familiar or new to Canada, for instance, who are not familiar with the history in Canada, what you see right now in a bilingual country is completely different from the time when Pascal was talking about. And it took a lot to get to where we are right now. It took a lot in changes from a government on a provincial level and on a federal level to get to where we are right now. For instance, Regulation 17 in Ontario, just to give the audience some example, Regulation 17 in Ontario that was put together in 1912, Ontario restricted French instruction in publicly funded elementary schools. That's in 1912. So from where we were back then to where we are right now, a lot of progress has been made. But are we perfect? I think Pascal is saying, no, we're not. We still have a lot more ways to go. And in where we are right now, where technology is affordable, people are intermingling. I think that's what I hear you saying. There's no reason why we cannot offer language infrastructure to everybody who needs it. Am I reading you correctly?
Absolutely. And